Welcome, everyone, to the Commentary Podcast. I am your host, Pat Brennan. Today on the podcast, we are going to be watching Forrest Gump. It was released in 1994. It is written by Eric Roth and directed by Robert Zemeckis. The film stars Tom Hanks, Robin Wright, Gary Sinise, Mykelti Williamson, and Sally Field. A man with a low IQ has accomplished great things in his life and been present during significant historic events, and in each case, far exceeding what anyone imagined he could do. But despite all he has achieved, his one true love eludes him. Joining me for this rewatch of Forrest Gump is Jason Hellerman. I will drop all of his info in the episode description, so please check him out and give him a follow. Now, I'm going to be watching the 4K copy I have of Forrest Gump, but it is currently streaming on Paramount Plus. You can also rent it on Amazon for $3.79, on Apple for $4, and on Fandango at home for $4. I say we get things kicked off. We are going to be pressing play on Forrest Gump, and I hope you do as well. In 3, 2, and 1.
Like turning my volume up because I have headphones on.
I know. I use.
Oh yeah, smart.
The headphones too. It's like I just
Paramount. Yeah, good company. Yeah.
Paramount. Yeah, looking
on the lot. I don't know
for them right now.
Yeah, right. Have you been on the lot before? They have the bench like, right as you walk in.
That's like that's my favorite lot I've been on because it's still very like old school vibe there.
Yeah.
As opposed to all the other lots now.
Sony, I think, edges it out a little bit for me. You know, it used to be MGM. It has like the rainbow, but I feel like Sony is more inviting as a place you can like poke your head in. You know, where Paramount like is still old school, like every door is closed, whatever. Yeah. But me can't be like those are the two best ones. And if someone picks something else, I'd be like, you're dumb.
Yeah.
You know,
I work on the Fox lot. So it's pretty like
I live right there. I live around the corner.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
The only one I haven't been on is Warner Brothers. I haven't been on there a lot.
It's cool. It's just so spread out. Like there's a whole TV side and there's a movie side. Like obviously the Water Tower and the Animaniacs, you know, are great. Yeah. But you know, well, anyway.
Yeah, I remember the first time I went on the Paramount lot. I was like, I'm gonna walk around because I did drop a drive off, so I was like, I'm gonna go walk around now.
Yeah, of course.
Because no one says anything on those lots. Like they're not gonna be like, who are you? Like
no,
I
know. I'm not shouldn't give this away on the pod here, but I call my buddy who works at Sony all the time. I won't say his name, and if I just like need inspiration or just I have a friend in town, I'm just like, can I just get a drive on? And I just go, I go park and I walk around, and it legitimately does like. You know, remind you why you're here. You know, you're feeling like the Forrest Gump feather blowing in the wind here in Hollywood. You know,
or giving away inside information.
Yeah,
it's okay,
but it's worth it. Eric Roth, he walked around the Fox lot during the strike all the time when I saw him. It makes you feel like not in shape when like 80-year-old Eric Roth is like laughing.
Walker.
All right, I don't know where you're at, but he's lifting up a feather now. We got a little Zemeckis on screen. Yeah.
Oh, Bobby Zemeckis.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I'm still always in Zemeckis' corner.
Yeah, I'll see whatever he puts in theaters, whatever he puts anywhere.
Yeah, I still haven't seen the Pinocchio. I don't know.
Oh, all right, you know.
But I'm still a Zemeckis champ. But yeah, I don't. Hopefully he gets another hit again eventually.
I a long time ago sent him a spec 2015 2016. I had a friend sort of thing, and we were in this movie together that was this is like a film noir that happens at Disneyland, and we had sent it to him and he graciously passed with like a nice little note. But
that's nice.
I always was just like, I remember like trying to like put in I was like just like, come back and make a movie, you know, there's not a lot of CGI in this thing. It's I just think you're amazing. But
there was an original, like I think early draft, because obviously he's Who Framed Roger Rabbit and using that 2D animation. There was an early draft I read that each of the main characters had like a 2D animated character on their shoulders. And I was like reading that, I was like, oh, that would have been so bad. Like, oh my God. Like...
Yeah. Well, you know, it's like the original Back to the Future script sucked. Like, it just like, it's the power of rewriting. I think I try to tell people that all the time. I was like, that's still a great idea in that bad script, and it became one of the best movies of all time.
What I love about the costume design here, like
Yeah,
his shoes are so dirty, but he always changes the laces
yeah,
because Jenny gives him those shoes.
right.
So to him, it's like these are very important
Oh
shoes
yeah,
here.
yeah. It's also such a good way to get into the movie, right? Like start on
Mm-hmm.
these like sneakers that we've already noticed that we probably have questions about. It's like pique your interest a little bit, but then take you in a
Yeah,
completely different direction. Did you read the book, the Forrest Gump book?
I have not. I've know some people that have, and they are not fans of the book.
I read it. I read it. It is. It's not a bad book if the movie didn't exist. It's just like not a book I would like tell people they should
Yeah.
read. But in the book, it's bananas. Like there's like
Mm-hmm.
20 more historical events he's at, and there's a lot more sex, which is hilarious to me. That
Mm-hmm.
like I was like that it was optioned and it became this movie, which is like
Mm-hmm.
I'd say like pretty like well PG-13, right? Pretty innocent, whatever. When like some of like the crux of the book is that like Forrest is like amazing in the sack. And it's like
Yeah.
why Jenny keeps coming back to him. Just like, you know,
Isn't he also like 300 pounds in the book or
yeah,
something?
he's like Jack Reacher, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6'5". Imagine like
Yeah.
Tom Hanks just ripped.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What I love about that they do with the transitions is every time there's like a transition, I think in his age, he's always wearing like a blue plaid shirt, like on the park bench when it cut back to the young Forest and it panned up, he was wearing this like the same like blue plaid shirt.
Yeah. Fascinating.
Aren't these scenes from what's it called, Birth of a Nation?
Yeah, Breath
Like
of a
they just use
Nation. Yeah.
there.
Yeah, you
God,
gotta use that.
I had to watch that like 3 or 4 times in film school, and I got to like the third year, and I saw it in the syllabus again. I was like, "Are you? I'm done. I'm not watching this movie. I'm not watching this 3 hour
Yeah.
terrible movie, terribly racist movie again. I'm not doing it."
I did what's it called? Unspooled, you know that podcast? And they do like the
Hmm.
during COVID, it was like the 100 best, AFI picks, whatever. And I can't remember if Birth of a Nation was on there, but Intolerance was. So I just like it was
Mm.
COVID, you were locked down. It's like pre-vaccinations. I watched Intolerance and I was just like, this is so long. Like, how did
Yeah.
people like how were movies so powerful? People were like, I'll do this for 4 hours. But it was like there were parts that I was like, oh, this is astounding that you could do this.
Hmm.
It is D.W. Griffith, horrific person, by all counts.
Yeah.
But
It's ugh.
yeah, like, interesting brain. Intolerance about
Hmm.
considering a movie about cruelty. The same guy was like, and I'll also
Yeah.
do this other, I'll also do Birth of a Nation, a movie
Yeah.
that only focuses on how cruel it is. Yeah. Sally
I love
Field,
this score.
yeah, it scores amazing. My favorite fact from this movie is like Sally Field is like 3 years older than Tom Hanks or something like
Yeah, it's
that, and
just
like
like
plays his
I think it's
mom.
like
Yeah,
10 maybe at the most. Yeah.
yeah. I can't. It's low.
It's
My first,
Bernard from
yeah,
Lost.
exactly. I know. And playing, it's like Bernard, your wife would not be happy with you. She waited for you to get to the back of the plane.
Hmm.
The little kid, I'm sure you know this. Uh, Tom Hanks did an interview and he was talking about how he came up with the voice for Forrest Gump.
Hmm.
And he was like, I was on set and I'm trying to do this voice. And they sat me down with this kid who plays young Forrest and like, okay, you know, you need to learn, like, you need to teach young Forrest how to talk like you. So the voices match. And he said he started listening to the young kid talk. He was like, oh no, I'm just going to have to talk like he does. Like it was like some like
Yeah.
rural Southern kid. I was like, that's such a fun actory reversal moment of like, no, you need to
Mm.
teach this kid. And he's like, no, I think this kid's going to have to wind up teaching me is
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
I'm sure the studio loved that.
Yeah.
Like,
This is like one of those, I feel like this is like a magical time in Hollywood. I mean, 94, right? It beat Pulp Fiction. People are still salty about it.
Yeah,
you know,
Shawshank.
yeah, Shawshank. Like, yeah, it beat a lot of really big movies, but it is such a like lyrical, amazing, classical Hollywood movie. I
Mm,
understand why nobody punched outside the box at the time. Every time I watch it, I always think it's gonna be meh, and now I'm like, oh yeah, this is just like beautiful, and you know, I don't know. For me, Forrest Gump represents like the best that like America could be, like
mm,
it's like the ignorance is bliss of like if you just are a good person, good things could happen. But
yeah.
I'm aware of the every
The
other complaint,
problems.
the problems, that's just glosses over.
When I was a kid, obviously, I had no idea what this scene meant. Like when he
Yeah,
starts breathing, I was like,
exactly.
"Why is he breathing like that? I don't understand."
My first time seeing this movie, it was 1995. My parents had rented it. We had one of those old school twisty banisters, and I sat at the top watching it through the banisters. My parents
Mm.
watched it at night, and I like it took me a long time to understand. I was like, I thought that guy was like doing work in their house, and he's like making fun of his breathing. And it turns out he was.
He's doing some type of work.
Yeah, this Curious George payoff too, just like a slight pay, you know what I mean? Because that's what like I always notice when he opens that suitcase in the first scene. Uh,
That was the character that was going to be on his like shoulder throughout the
no
movie of the
way.
2D. It was a Curious George type of thing.
Fascinating.
This costume design, like, or this, I guess,
Yeah.
just the whole like, he's obviously out of focus, so you can't really see him. But this dude, whoever they got, looks exactly like Elvis.
Yeah,
Like out
absolutely.
of focus. Like,
Yeah. Focus Elvis. Yeah. It is such a again, like I aware of people's complaints that like Elvis's hips were, stolen from real people and whatever, but like the
mm-hmm.
idea that he steals it from like a
It
little
was
boy,
him.
it's just like it is like it's part of the magic of the movie, and it's honestly like why I could never hate this movie. Like I just think
Mm-hmm.
it has that same zhuzh that Back to the Future has when it's like he gives whatever the mayor, I can't remember the mayor Goldie Wilson, right? It's
Yeah,
like when he's
yeah.
like
You're gonna be
mayor, I could be
mayor.
mayor.
Yeah.
Like it's that same just like magic zhuzh of like you totally buy into the world.
Mm-hmm.
I think like putting Elvis first, like if you're reading this spec and had no idea, like, and you were like, oh, he's teaching Elvis on page, whatever, page
Yeah.
11, how to shake his hips, but it you fully buy in, and it's such a clever way to mark time in this kid's life and time in America's life too, to like take these
Mm-hmm.
big moments, but fully personalize them.
Yeah. Like the big, like Elvis was known for that little
Yeah,
leg shake. And it's like,
yeah,
what if it just came from this little kid in
yeah,
this small town,
yeah,
like that he just ripped it from?
yeah.
Yeah, I think Tom Hanks said he read the script for 30 minutes, which I
Yeah,
assume we probably got to the probably around this part and was like, yeah,
yeah.
man.
I
She's
want to know
like,
the story of those pigeons that fly. Just
yeah.
but like there definitely was like a grip that moved something. They're like, now we're keeping that dig.
I love the payoff at the end. Obviously, spoiler. I'm sure people
Yeah,
have seen this movie, but the payoff
yeah.
at the end that she's still the bus driver at the
Exactly.
very
Yeah. And you do the math and you're like 55 to 80, four, maybe 85 is
back then, like that was
yeah.
probably her only job, and you could get a house. Like you're just the bus driver for the school.
I was
Probably had a
talking
house and
to
everything.
someone the other day. Honestly, might have been my aunt is a bus driver. And I
Mm,
had mentioned this. And then I was like, oh, I think she's been a bus, like I'm 37. I think she's been a bus driver for 30 years. Like she
yeah.
fully could be in this movie. That's just like a real thing. Like
Hmm.
she's like, it's a great job. She likes it. She likes the kids. I was like, oh yeah, that's maybe it's not the most grounded part about Forrest Gump is the bus driver being the same.
Yeah. All these little punks on the bus.
I know.
Can't sit here.
This is like Forrest Gump. I feel like always balances these universal emotions with like fantastic and like the sitting on the bus anxiety. I don't know if like I had it before I saw this movie, but I couldn't trace back, like
Mm-hmm.
either way.
Oh,
And no
I
matter
hated it.
where I go, I used to take the Bolt bus a lot when I was in college,
Mm-hmm.
back and forth to home or to New York or wherever, like to visit friends. And like just the idea of having, I was always trying to be the first in line. So someone would have to
Mm-hmm.
pick to sit next to me versus like making eye contact with a stranger and being like,
Yeah. I remember they would always like overpack our buses. So like we were always the
oh
last stop. So when I got on, there's every seat was already filled too.
yeah.
So now I have to be like, hey, can I squeeze in a third here?
Oh
So
yeah.
I had like basically I'm half on the seat. Oh god, I hated it. And it's
Yeah.
so awkward because everyone's just looking at you and you're like,
Oh
dude, I
yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
Uh never again.
I never had any Jenny moments. It was mostly people real
Yeah.
upset that I was crashed. I'm like, sorry, you don't get to sit alone anymore.
Yeah.
From that day on, we was always together. Jenny and me was like peas and carrots.
Peace and care.
Peas and
This movie
carrots.
is just like printing lines of that, and like
Yeah.
some of it is like everything. I mean, we didn't even mention the box of chocolates at the beginning, but like
Yeah. Which I
peas and
guess I read is kind of it was kind of somewhat of a line before this, but they kind of reworked it. Like it was like a
yeah,
saying.
interesting.
Sometimes we just get out.
I
Like it
want
wasn't maybe not the chocolate part, but like something
yeah,
in life, you never know what you're
yeah.
gonna get, something like that. They
Do you
just
think they
reworked.
scripted that kid hanging upside down by those leg braces, or he was
Yeah.
like, I can actually do this?
It's probably like I could actually do this.
Yeah, because that's just such a good
She was
magic of the set moment.
I
And
think
this
this
little
kid also he went on to become a Marine, which Forrest is a Marine in this,
yeah,
so
yeah, amazing. Like that kind of stuff always feels special to me, just
mhm.
whatever. But
people don't think so. They do.
Yeah,
he
so
hits
like
him so
whenever
hard with that rock.
if you really notice now the costume design,
Yeah,
whenever like it cuts back to the bench and it cuts
yeah,
back to the next scene, he's wearing like a blue plaid
yeah.
every single time. It's kind of wild.
That's like that sort of deep visual thing that like you do need like yeah, you need a costume designer.
Multiple,
Yeah, you
yeah.
need
And
like
multiple
multiple.
rewatches and you're like,
Yeah,
"Oh, I see what they're doing here."
yeah,
It is kind of wild how many like iconic lines are from this. Run,
yeah,
Forest, run. Life is like a box of chocolates, peas and
yeah,
carrots. Like,
yeah. Lieutenant Danny, you ain't got no legs, all the
yeah.
sort of,
I mean, you got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
yeah,
That's like one of my favorite lines.
yeah,
Yes, I know that.
yeah,
He says that.
yeah. Gary Sinise, we're not even there yet. I'll conceive all my
Yeah.
accolade, but like, I at the time thought he was like the greatest actor of all time.
Hmm.
This is like, it just feels magical. There's like blood dripping down his head from being hit in the face with a rock, just like,
And he breaks the leg
yeah,
braces.
yeah,
He can run now. But I love it's like he kind of gives him like a
yeah,
him breaking the leg braces, then he becomes like a superpower where he can like run really fast.
yeah,
Like,
exactly. Well, it's because he was coddled his whole life, and these
yeah.
leg braces. I was running. I mean, you can't beat it.
Mhm. I love the little trail of smoke. Like, he's like the Flash.
Yeah, just these kids pushing over their bikes, getting pissed off.
Yeah.
I wonder how many
The, like
takes they got of
little.
that kid. Yeah, I mean, like that crane shot. Like there is just some excellent cinematography that just sits in this movie. That
Hmm.
I think I told you I rewatched it the other day just to refresh, and I was just like, oh yeah, like this movie is like well made. Like that shot there is great.
Hmm. It's amazing what movies can look like when you actually shoot them on location and not in a blue screen
I
soundstage.
know, I know. Yeah, you have to. Yeah, it turns out location scouting.
And these would all be drones now. They don't like feel like they don't
Yeah,
even use cranes that much.
no.
But drones work too. Same look feel.
Yeah, there is
Depends on how
something
you use them.
nice just about the sweepingness, of
Yeah,
like the
but
consistent
yeah,
pathway. But yeah,
budget cuts.
yeah.
Jenny wasn't on the bus to go to school.
This is like. Also, I had to become an adult to realize Jenny's dad
Yeah,
hugging and kissing on his sister.
yeah.
It's
Under not
horrifying.
understanding that. The
Yeah,
shot of the liquor, you're like, oh, I
yeah,
get it.
yeah. What are these tobacco plants? Do we know? That's corn.
I don't know. That's corn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably another, like, I don't know, maybe another vegetable, like tomato or something.
Yeah. Got to know more about Alabama agriculture.
Yeah. I don't know.
This is also big, make me a bird so I can fly far, far away. That's I feel like when I'm in traffic, I say that in LA. I'm on the 405. So
have you seen, there is a deleted scene that Jenny actually kills her father, like young Jenny with the tractor. It's on the Blu-ray. It's a deleted scene, but I think Zemeckis said it would just been too much. People wouldn't have like had the sympathy for Jenny of that, because it's like, well, then she becomes like, they would say that you would become a murderer, even though he's obviously assaulting her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the Blu-ray. The deleted scene.
Oh, I definitely will look that up. I'll have to figure out if there's a good old YouTube.
And there's I think another deleted scene went viral a few months ago. It kind of goes viral every once in a while, like when he meets like Martin Luther King.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you're like, yeah. When you see the scene, you're like, yeah, that's,
you got
to take that. Let's not have that scene in this movie.
Again, like, and this is a movie that like has some problems,
Yeah.
It is that hindsight thing. I do think like at the time there were so few complaints about it, but it does. Yeah, I'm not going to be here to defend it holding up. It doesn't. Hold up.
Yeah, there's aspects of this that don't hold up.
Yeah, but like I said, it's for me, it just like signifies like the best you could be, like, or like that anybody could be, maybe, and maybe that's just like being dim-witted and naive. I don't know, but like I don't know if there's like a good moral there, but it does feel like it's grounded in some sort of whatever. But yeah, this running stuff in the book, it's like I can't remember if he goes to the Olympics in the book, but like the college chapters, he's like Heisman Trophy finalist. Like it's like legitimately. So I think he also plays like running back and just like, it's like the dumb brute. And
what they have coming up here, when he's at Alabama, like his jersey is so clean because no one can tackle him.
Yeah, no one touches him. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So he's never gets dirty. So he gets a touchdown every time.
Yeah.
I love the look of just the heads
just moving. The scouts are there. Yeah, that's just a local idiot. Forrest Gump, a local idiot.
The guy on the right, I forget his name. He was in Remember the Titans.
Oh yeah.
He's the like the special teams coach.
Yeah, what a pull.
Yeah, like you're just not even looking. You like see everyone else is all dirty, and he has no clean.
Touches. Yeah, exactly.
Just give the like football to Forrest,
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there not 44 significance? I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because Forrest, 40.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
44 looks clean on a jersey.
It does. The score does slap. I mean, this is like just him.
Did you ever play old Madden when you would just do punt returns all day, just trying to run back and forth?
Yeah. Now there's like 11-year-olds running wheel routes on the internet, but like they've hacked to the codex and just the fact that he didn't stop. I'm like, is he so stupid he doesn't know he should stop at the end zone? But
yeah, I think that's what some people have problems with in this movie is like they just think he's like too dumb. So like, how can he like be smart as well? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, how can he be wise if he's so stupid? Yeah. I've never bothered me.
This piece of the technology is
incredible,
groundbreaking.
Yeah,
I mean, it still holds up. Some parts don't really, but like the JFK scenes, like his mouth moves a little weird, but it's like I mean, it works. Like,
yeah, it's just I think about it now, like with you have all those like retrofitted AI things, and I'm like, they do like look a little better, but they just feel so neutered. But
like actual footage of terrible governor here, and then Forrest just leaning to the side. Just
I mean, it looks good.
Great. Like and they could like see this on the set, like in their monitors. They could see it like in real time.
Yeah, it just it's subtle enough where you like fully buy it. Like I've never seen this movie on the big screen, so I don't know what it like felt like in 94 when you're there, but it had to feel like a revelation. Like I can't imagine it feeling another way. Here when he's on Dick Cavett later with John, stuff that I'm just like, I still think it looks so good. I mean, this right here is such a funny transition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this would be them actually just filming the set there.
Yeah.
And then using the actual of the wave.
Yeah. Just like male nudity coming out of the shower here, getting another towel.
Getting another towel. Yeah. Hey guys, same wave.
Hey. Same wave, yeah. Yeah,
you're right. This movie just feels like, I don't know, it feels like just, I guess in a way, it's like very American in a way.
Yeah, it is.
Very American. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I tried to watch, was it Soy M Cuba or whatever? Like the I Am Cuba. It's like this 4-hour, like, I think it's heralded as like a pretty awful propaganda movie for like the Communist Party after they destroyed Cuba. But like, it's beautiful to look at, right? If you just look, and I think like in the same way, like contextually, it'd be hard for me to tear apart Forrest Gump because, whatever social issues we can figure out later. But like just watching it, I'm like, the first from a filmmaking perspective, I'm like, this is just, I cannot believe they did these things on the real sets. And like, even this rain, it's like a rain machine. It's not, whatever, like they're whatever, all these old cars. It does feel like, there's an Americana attached to this that like still felt innocent in a time. So,
especially starting in like the 50s, like the very Americana 50s.
Yeah.
And keeping it going. There are actually, now they like keep pointing it out, there are a lot of crane shots so far.
Yeah. Well, I think
even that shot coming in right there is crane. Like,
yeah. And you're sort of mimicking that feather at the beginning. Like, hey, we're just going to we're going to go in high and low out of these vignettes almost that are like moments in your life. Like, the moment of catching a feather, like just sort of like, what do you call that? A motif, or like a camera movement.
I love how he just opens his door and starts throwing haymakers. He's like, let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good way. Like, it shows that like he's like strong too. Like,
yes, yeah. So I mean, like in the book, like, he's like Jack Reacher, So
not Tom Cruise Jack Reacher though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, yeah, he is.
He's Thad Castle,
Alan
Jack
Ritchson.
Reacher.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yes, exactly.
Blue Mountain State deep cut.
Yeah, yeah. It's the idea that he's like at Alabama. That's some like tiny,
like Christian girls' school.
Exactly.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go back to my college now, Alabama, where I play on the football team.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
this scene, I mean, incredible.
Again, I didn't know what happened when I was younger. Didn't understand what was going on.
Yeah. Well, she like rips the stuff off the bed. This is like the best use of the 180-degree rule ever, right? So it's like we just have the perspective of one side of this room for the entire scene, and the payoff later is like if you just look like, the other way.
Example of like any dorm room, like that happens in dorm rooms, like people that like a couple or something, and then it cuts like there's another person in the room. Like,
my college experience very close to this, and by that I mean someone I was on the other bed,
or on the other bed, just being like,
yeah, exactly.
Put the headphones on.
You can keep that bathroom. Yeah. I remember like, why do you need noise canceling headphones? I just need them. Okay. It is interesting. We just both got way too quiet. It is interesting.
It happens.
Like, I don't know if like the de-aging, like you see in The Irishman and different stuff, like none of that happens in this movie. They really just let costume design and like hairstyles be like what takes them from 18 to 45, like
early 90s. I guess it would be like 94. It's probably supposed to when it's supposed to be.
It never bothers me, like I'm never like, oh, she looks like she doesn't look like a college girl. That like I don't care. Whereas sometimes with like these overlays people do now, I'm like, you really just have to like brush their hair different, you know?
Oh yeah. They would definitely like DH
Yeah.
right in this scene if it was made today.
Oh yeah, and I don't even know if Zemeckis could help himself, although I
Yeah.
wanted to. You know, it's just like
Yeah, he's
this
like
is
the
such a
all about
fun
the CG now.
version of it. You know.
All the Joan Baez posters in the back.
Yeah.
She wants to be a folk singer like Joan Baez.
Yeah,
And here you
everything
go.
in this movie is planting paid off. Yeah, exactly.
With the curlers in. So
Yeah, I think I
like
ruined your
early
yeah.
60s, 50, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go Forrest. Don't even
Yeah.
care about the multi.
Yeah.
It's just funny. It's implied he just scores a touchdown like every single time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's so good.
Do they even have an offense? They just throw him out there.
They're kicking it out of bounds once in a while, you know?
Yeah, you got it. Paramount News. They want to pay for anything else.
Yeah, take what you can get with a budget like this.
Like this, like, I mean, it still holds up.
Yeah.
To me, it still looks great.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if they could do it as good. Like, you know, like the technology is like kind of at the perfect realm where like doing that looks great and they're not overdoing anything, you know?
This would be me with beer.
Yeah.
Like, it's free? All right, I'm about to have 10 beers.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's funny, it's implied that he just stood there and drank them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess JFK's mouth's a little weird here, but it still works. And even when he turns around and says it looks like he has to go pee, like he said he has to go pee, like it looks great. It looks like he actually says that. Like that's great.
Yeah.
And then the little Marilyn
yeah, exactly.
nod here. I love how it's just in the open bathroom that everyone uses. Just the
yeah,
Marilyn.
exactly. Yeah. Well, you know, JFK, not a great guy.
Yeah.
Just rubbing his wife's face in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that it's also like over the photo of him and his brother too.
Yeah.
Yeah. This movie is not. It's not restrained when George Wallace gets shot. You know what I mean? Like we see him bleed, but we don't get the Zapruder film.
They don't show those.
Yeah. Which look, George Wallace, not a good guy. I actually think he had like a deathbed change of heart, George Wallace. I feel like I read that somewhere. I don't want to go on the record, but that he was like, I should never have been a horrific racist.
Terrible person, yeah.
But it is interesting that they reserved the JFK violence, or like at least, you know.
And they just had the first nod to a photo there where his eyes were closed.
Yeah.
Like his eyes are always closed in every photo.
Hello, I'm Forrest Gump.
He's like, all right.
Yeah.
Same little
little mirror
taken.
image.
Yeah.
Well, I also think like again, if you're going like motif or whatever, like takes the bus to school, meets Jenny, takes the bus to war, meets Bubba.
It's where he meets his best friends.
Where he meets his best friends, but at the end of the movie, he doesn't take the bus, right? He runs to her.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is, you know,
the line coming up here, Tom Hanks ad-libbed it when he says, I'm Forrest Gump. People call me Forrest Gump. He ad-libs that.
No way. That's amazing.
I love that line. You ever on a shrimp boat? No, but I've been on a really big boat.
I mean, I'll tell you what, like, as someone who's been to a Bubba Gump shrimp, delicious. But this is another
Universal City Walk?
Yeah, oh yeah. Actually, I think I went to the one in Santa Monica, but the Santa Monica Pier, maybe even worse. But
yeah, it's like Vegas was like, yeah, that's great. That's like again, if like an actor did that, I'm like, that was great. That played great. But see, even that, like these scenes here, they even fill the background there. Like I had the carriage coming. Like now that would just be all green screen.
Yeah, exactly.
There. Like use the whole set. And then the contrast later when you have that same shot.
Yeah.
Of Bubba's mom. Yeah. I love this.
Yeah.
Like God damn it.
You're a goddamn genius.
Then he puts the gun together and he's like,
Yeah.
Jesus H. Christ. It's a new company record.
Yeah, for some reason, if in the army, like one of them round pegs is such a good line too. Again,
Yeah.
but like, yeah, of course he did. He just was 100% willing to do whatever he was told
Yeah.
and never question anything.
Which is what the army wants. You never
Yeah.
question anything. You just do what
Yeah.
you're told.
Yeah.
Everyone's like going so slow, and he's like, "I'm done."
Yeah.
Because he keeps the same hair the whole movie. No, Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
The hairstyle doesn't change.
Yeah. Why did you put that rifle together?
Because you told me to. This guy's so good. This actor playing that. He probably was an actual like army. Yeah.
That's like the old Lee Ermey, you know, like, oh, I just did that. That's what I did. Shrimp is a fruit of the sea. I mean, this is the other icon. Like, how do you? Every time I think about shrimp, I literally go, "You do the whole thing."
Go shrimp.
Yeah.
With a little toothbrush.
Scrubbing the boots, a little toothbrush. Lemon shrimp, coconut shrimp, pepper shrimp, shrimp soup, shrimp.
Which is like apply. It's like how much shrimp has he gone through up to this point?
Yeah. Yeah. Keep on going.
Yeah. Right. Oh no.
I know.
Jenny Playboy.
Pornography. It is good to like, how do you keep Jenny in this movie? You know, like if you're a writer or whatever, I think all the time, like what a natural way to bring her in, you know, and like in this Playboy getting in trouble, like setting up how we can bring her into the next scene. Like, how do you bring someone like that in? Is so.
Actual Playboy magazine. They just inserted this one image in.
One of my favorite gifts to get friends for like their milestone birthdays is the Playboy from the month they were born. And they're really cheap. I mean,
and the year.
My buddy just turned 40 and I got him whatever, like 1984 August. And like, you know, it comes and it's super funny and it's like it's got all the old ads in it. And I think people are shocked by how many articles are in it. Like that joke of like every Playboy for the article. Like it's really like a New Yorker magazine, but like has like a centerfold. Like it is. I mean, maybe not the recent ones, but it did shot like. The one we had like a Kurt Vonnegut short story that was only published in Playboy.
Oh wow! Yeah. Do they even still print? I don't even know that. They still print?
No, they don't think. I think they're done. I think once Hugh Hefner died, his son sold the company and the mansion. And, it's all online now.
Yeah, I think Robin Wright had like the flu during this scene.
Oh, this is her Indiana Jones bullwhip or gun sword fight scene.
Yeah. And then originally scripted, the guy was supposed to throw the drink in her face but Zemeckis was like, just throw it like at her legs because we don't have to do her makeup every time.
Yeah.
So just throw it down low. Because he probably got to a point like he probably saw her come out with all the makeup. It's like, well, as soon as water hits that's all gonna come streaming down. And we're gonna have to dry you off. Like, plus you're sick. Like
the POV of Jenny's movie is so sad. It's like every dream she has becomes a perverted nightmare.
Yeah, which I think that's why everyone's like, "Oh, Jenny's the worst character," and I was like, I think she's the most misunderstood character in this whole thing because she was taken advantage of as a child.
Yeah,
and she thinks that she's also taking advantage of Forrest.
Yes,
so that's why whenever she does something, like obviously towards the end, spoiler, like when they have sex, she thinks she's taking advantage of him. So that's why she immediately leaves. And the cab driver's like, "Where are you running to?" And she's like, "I'm not running. Like, I don't want to be like the person that takes advantage of somebody because I was taking advantage of."
Yeah. It took me a long time. I remember talking about this movie in college with my professors. Shout out Lynn Elliott. And she explained that point of view to me and it like blew my, because I was like fully like, you know, Jenny's a bitch.
Jenny sucks. And growing up, I was like, Jenny sucks. And then you realize like there's a reason why her character's this way. It's
Exactly.
like,
Yeah.
and she always wants to
deeply
like
explain.
it always
Yeah.
seems like she wants to like jump off this bridge, jump like gonna get on the ledge of the hotel. Like
Yes. Yeah.
she wants this pain to end.
Yeah. Yeah. And by the time she, spoiler, dies, she's not begging for death anymore, which is like
Yeah. She's
again,
accepting
ultimate
that.
world
Yeah.
punishment. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like she wants to like make her a bird, like an angel, and like fly
Yeah.
away like to heaven. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just like they described her mom, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah. Fascinating stuff.
Look at us breaking ground.
I
Jenny
know.
deserves more respect.
Yeah. That feels like a no film school article I could write. The people would be really
Yeah.
excited. But
Yeah, they'd be like, yeah, you go viral. Like, no.
yeah.
It's this whole other country. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But like the thing with that Jenny does, Jenny never corrects him. Like
No,
like
yeah.
because Bubba would never do that, and then like obviously Lieutenant Dan does it in the beginning, but then towards at the end he doesn't do that either because
right.
you get the scene when they're like at the New Year's Eve party and she's like, was your friend stupid or something? And she's like, what'd you call him? Like, don't you ever call him stupid? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like they all like he touches people in a way that they'll never do that to him.
Yeah. These sort of like mirroring of her being gone, him, sitting out, staring is I wonder how they shot this. Like, if they shoot it in order, they like batch shoot a lot of these scenes and shoot out the house.
Yeah. I remember I watched the special features.
Yeah.
Long to like maybe over 10 years ago. So I probably forget a lot of this stuff, but also love how this song is like used for these types of moments when the actual lyrics of the song
yeah,
everyone's like, yeah, America. It's like, actually this is a criticism of America.
Yeah. It's literally like, yeah, I was born to die because I'm fucking poor.
I'm not a fortunate son of a congressman or a politician.
Yeah. It's the Born in the USA of CCR.
Another one.
Yeah, exactly.
Another one. Born in the USA. It's like, you guys should really learn what these lyrics are.
Yeah.
If you really want to.
It is different. It's funny, like watching these, like again, like practical helicopter dropping them off. They get out, like stuff that, yeah.
There's the king of beers.
Yeah, but heavy, baby.
Yeah, I think. Cool. I mean, this has got to be one of the greatest soundtracks.
Oh yeah,
of all time.
I had it on CD. Yeah, I
have the vinyl of it.
No way,
it's great. Yeah. But yeah, it's like the highest selling movie soundtrack album of all time. Because I mean, it's just hit after hit.
Yeah, it's all bangers through the decades. Yeah.
And I think originally they had it like in the script. I think they even wrote like the songs they would play, and it's like I think the studio was like, "There's no way you're gonna be able to play these songs."
Yeah. Yeah. Little do they know this is like a humongous hit.
I think they said the Doors has the most. I think the Doors has 4 or 5 songs in this.
Yeah. I mean, it's like every second that you don't have a score, you're getting
the song.
Yeah, the song of the year of whatever year it was, basically.
Yeah. Twins. Twins.
we are not relations.
Pretty basic.
And they went on to be in Apollo 13.
Yeah.
Pushing stove, OG green. Try and keep your feet dry. You're out humping. I want you boys in the middle to change your stuff.
You're not.
Sergeant Sam. God damn it, where is that swing rope I told you to order? I put in the requisitions at attack. Yeah. Will you call us?
I love that cut. Like everyone else has their like hats off, but they have them on because it's like they're the new recruits. So
they're the new
but everyone else is like 3 beers deep, smoking a cigar, like
sleeves rolling up.
I love
this. Awesome.
Yeah. You're allowed to live up to die.
Yeah. It's like another one of those wise Forrest
Yeah.
criticisms.
Well, that's the point. It's like Forrest
Yeah.
changes him to be like, he obviously saves his life, and
Yeah.
I don't think I could do this. Take it like right in front of everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like that. Take good care of your feet, and like even though Forrest would never get rid of those shoes from Jenny,
Yeah.
like he'll always make sure they're like new laces. Like
Yeah.
if they're like he takes care of his feet. I hope I don't let him down. Like they filmed all these scenes in South Carolina. I think.
Yeah.
Obviously, they didn't go to Vietnam to shoot that.
Yeah. We're just gonna fly back in.
This is this little bit here of their names is so good.
Yeah.
Like there's Dallas or like from Houston.
Yeah,
or like
Houston,
yeah, this little bit's great.
Yeah. I mean, raining sideways, upways, backways.
It wasn't always fun. Lieutenant Dan was always getting these funny feelings about trail or the road. So he'd tell us to get down, shut up, get down, shut up.
So we did.
I know. There's like nervous anticipation. It's like, Vietnam's not going to go well. It's like this is the first time in the movie I think that you're 100% certain things won't go well for Forrest, right? It's like everything else does feel blissfully American, right? Like even the racist parts of America, Forrest is involved on the right side of, and this is the first time I feel like in the movie where there's real tension because you're like, Vietnam didn't go well for anybody. How could this be a thing? I think every time I rewatch it, it's like you get nervous, even though I know it's coming, because I'm just like, oh, like even though there's nothing around this bend, like it can't survive that long.
Yeah,
it won't go that way forever.
In the U.S. itself, especially when they teach history growing up, they don't like to say that. They have to say the Vietnam War was a tie.
Right, exactly, yeah.
And that's a whole other conversation.
Right, yeah. Yeah, most people don't tie and come all the way back here with Yeah, I'm a big fan of Top Gear and the Grand Tour. I don't know if you watch those shows, Jeremy Clarkson on, but they have a really good episode where they go to Vietnam and it's just like sort of unpack the politics while also joking around of just like, this is all whatever, and it's not any better. And like, there's bullet holes everywhere still, and people
there's
talk
still like
about it.
Mines that have not been like
exactly, yeah,
and they're just sitting in fields still, like
yeah. Forrest never gets fully political here,
yeah. Then when the battle scene coming up, or then they start shooting, you never see the Viet Cong. You never see them.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's like the point. It's like you don't need to see them.
Yeah. Yeah, we understand that point of view just from being who we are. Yeah.
And then like obviously, I mean, I keep jumping ahead, but obviously we'll get there. But when spoiler, people listening to this, Bubba dies.
Yeah.
And then the line he says before he dies, he's like, "Why did this happen?"
Yeah.
As in, like, essentially, it's like it's a critique of any war. It's like, why are we here? And he says, "I want to go home." It's like,
why we fight?
Why are we here? Like, and they didn't have any. A lot of people didn't have say in this. They were drafted.
Exactly. Yeah.
Forrest signed up, but Bubba was probably drafted. Like, he's like,
statistically
so
speaking,
they have no
exactly.
say.
Yeah. Yeah, and they even changed the rules. Draft rules used to be like, oh, if you're married, you didn't have to go. They changed those like right in the middle of the 60s. They're like, actually, we don't care if you're in college. We don't care if you're getting like everything changed pretty quick.
Just kidding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Using the red light there now to foreshadow coming. What's about to come.
Yeah. But also like color transition wise, like you said earlier, red light to her red vest is such a good
into the red car.
Into the red car, back to the red light.
Yeah.
It is like that next level of this stuff that it just feels so controlled. Like this is what a director does. You know what I mean? It's like,
and after this scene, like this little like, it's probably only about 20 seconds. Maybe this goes on. Zemeckis making a. Surprised he never made like a war movie in general. Directs these scenes pretty well. As
absolutely.
soon as the rain's gone and the sun hits, boom.
Yeah, bullets. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you ever see them. You just see the bullets coming out.
Yeah.
I mean, Zemeckis is good friends with Spielberg. Spielberg probably told him, okay, this is what you're going to do.
Yeah.
I haven't made Saving Private Ryan yet, but this is what you're going to do.
It's like that De Palma Scarface thing. I don't know if you ever watched, like saw but like De Palma being like, Spielberg was on set for the end of Scarface. It was like, move the camera this way, crane down. He's like, just do it, Steven. I don't, like.
He helped him direct the Say Hello to My Little Friend scene.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Had all the ideas behind it. Yeah.
De Palma came up with the Star Wars scroll.
Yeah. They all have yeah. It is fun. It's funny. I have like a group of writer friends out here, and we're in a fun group thread called Writer Bros. Not all men, but funnier because Writer Bros is such a term like of people use. But and it is like that's where ideas go. You know what I mean? Like you talk to like it doesn't matter whose script it goes, like whatever. And I don't care about like it's like if you make something good, everybody's happy. I do think that group of those guys back then just had such a good, like it's good to have accountability, right? They all like I'd say they arguably made their best films when they had someone they had to be accountable to. And now it's so hard. I think like when you're that big of a person, like who tells you what's a good idea? Who do you trust for suggestions? It's so hard to get those answers now. But
and it's not like De Palma is like demanding credit for the the opening scroll. He's just helping his friend out. Like,
exactly.
Hey, you need something here. Like
just like he's not embarrassed to be like Steven had a great idea for Say Hello to My Little Friend. Like it's just, this is
like I'm sure Robert Zemeckis probably sent Spielberg a cut of this and be like, what do I need to do here? Like, how do I edit this down?
Well, just the fact that they could show each other when they're shooting different movies on the lot at the same time. Like cuts of different things is amazing. I feel like they cast someone that they were like, who looks like Matthew Modine, like they're like, let's
probably a Matthew Modine look. Here's he getting his Purple Heart, rescuing everybody. Here's his strength.
They gave you the Congressional Medal of Honor. That's a spoiler line. This is this sort of beautiful thing that I love about this movie is like he unabashedly will do stuff for anybody, and I do think it's like that warmth that I come back to, or like why I can't fully get on board with people that hate this movie. I'm just like, there's just something so pure in what Forrest Gump does, like regardless of the other stuff, it's just like impossible to get past.
Because like he says, like, leave me here. Like he could have left him there,
100%,
like, and looked for Bubba. Like he didn't.
You would understand why he left him there. You would always understand. But
because they tried to tell you he had ancestors die in every single American war. So like, in your mind, he's like, well, I guess he's like, as an audience, you're like, well, I guess he's gonna die here. Like, where's his death scene?
You just assume it's coming.
Like I love that something jumped up and bit me. Like he doesn't even understand that a bullet shot him. Like,
I am like, what caliber bullet just like whacked him? But I mean, this is just good I do wonder like how heavy, how like he really is running hard in all these scenes where he's carrying people.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, they and then coming up here, those are actual explosions behind him. Obviously, I think
Yeah.
the close one up is obviously like they kind of
Right.
overlay the image.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess they had one take to do it, and I guess it was like second unit was kind of shooting it,
Yeah.
and Zemeckis missed it because he was in the bathroom. He like heard the
That's
explosion.
crazy.
He was like, "Wait!"
Yeah.
It's like, "All right, we got it. We're
Yeah,
good."
if he wasn't going already, he was going immediately then. But,
Yeah.
oh, Bubba. They do a good job without telling you so much that you know immediately he's not going to make it. Like,
Mhm.
I don't need to be a wound expert to be like, that is not a recovery.
Not good. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're right. You can hear the
You can hear them. I can't see them. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Nolan kind of does it in like Dunkirk, where
Yeah.
you don't see them until the very end, and they're out of focus, and he never calls them like Germans. Like they
Right.
just say the enemy.
Yeah. Yeah, that is
Because it's like it's the fear of the unknown of what you can't see.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess these are all actual. Besides, like I think the really close up
Right.
one is not.
Sure.
Yeah. Because that blast would have probably pushed them forward a little bit. Yeah.
Tom Hanks never the same after.
Yeah. And this.
I know. I'm like my throat's already clenching up here.
Just the line delivery of "I want to go home." It's just
the sort of sweaty, bloody hand around his neck too. I always like come back to like this is a great death scene because you can tell he can't grip anything. It's like that he's so weak.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, why'd this happen? Like, you got shot, obviously, but he's not asking, like, why did this happen? It's like, why are we here? Like, I want to go home. But Forrest is like, takes everything too literally. Like, you got shot, that's why this happened. Like,
yeah.
Damn. And now the person listening is actually interested in listening. Bullet.
It's interesting he gets so lost in the story. It's like, and we are, we're like, oh, new guy.
Yeah. That's great though, because it's like he's been sitting there for. It's probably only been like from him explaining this stuff. It's probably been like 20 minutes. Like, but
yeah, if you just take the
just what he's just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he had the blue shirt that cuts to like this is like a bluish gray on his.
Right. Yeah.
It's like a thing.
Ice cream. And another again all-timer line.
Ice cream.
Right in the bedpan.
Yeah.
Big reveal.
Then the reveal. Yeah.
I mean, this again, like that's all CGI, right? Like.
Yeah, they put like blue.
Yeah.
Like blue like socks on.
Yeah.
And I think that they made like a custom wheelchair. I think it was really hard for him to get in and out of, but like essentially when he sat in it, his legs would go like underneath. And I think they put like
like
glue around it around the side, so it's like they can then put the wheels around, so it looks like he doesn't have anything. Another ground like pretty like risky technology to use. Like like is this gonna work?
Yeah, these Jenny letters.
Forced.
Yeah.
And I'm sure this is when people are like, "Oh, Jenny sucks." It's like, nah, it's just not her address, dude. They don't know where she is.
Yeah. Also gut wrenching, but yeah, exactly.
Like, I never got any of it.
Yeah.
Every ping pong ball is CGI in this movie. Every single one.
Classic.
But I love this little character choice he does here. So he says you never take the eye off the ball. So when Forrest goes, he never blinks. He's always just never takes his eye off.
No matter what happens, never, ever take your eye off.
So he's like, okay. So he just everything's so literally he'll never blink now when he looks at the ping pong ball.
Oh yeah, now I'm pulling out Doors songs because you said they have the most in there.
Like this is like the third one already, probably.
Yeah. Back to back. Yeah.
Yeah, see, just never blinking, just. I mean, it's good CGI. It looks freaking great.
It is good CGI
and good sound design.
Sold by he's holding the paddle so loosely, you know what I mean? Like it feels professional.
And they're all not watching the TV anymore. They're watching Forrest.
Yeah. I mean, the transition to them missing the moon landing later for him playing ping pong. I'm like, all right, guys. Here's another back-to-back brutal scene here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love the camera pan to go underneath the whole bedding.
Oh, yeah.
He looks actually.
No. Yeah, so I do, yeah.
Yeah, actually, now that you mentioned that, yeah. Nah, dude, you're supposed to run bubblegum shrimp.
Yeah, exactly, man.
With me.
And invest in Apple, yeah.
Yeah. In some fruit company.
Yeah. It is such a they're really good. This movie is really good at taking a side character and nailing their arc or killing them. You know what I mean? Like you said, Jenny's well thought out. Not people don't think about it as deeply as you did, but that's all there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lieutenant Dan, he just said exactly, I was supposed to have this and now I don't know what I'm supposed to do with my life. And we sort of follow him through a crazy redemption, which involves him marrying the Vietnamese person at the end, which is, whatever. But it is distinctly down there, Jenny's thing, honestly, his mom, being this worried mom to now he's taking care of her and she knows she can die in peace. All these things that kind of come back full circle with these side characters that's not easy to do. As a writer, I find that to be the most intimidating. People are I don't know if your side characters have enough. I'm I gave them all I could, this is,
Well, even the line where he's like, do you understand what I'm without your legs? He's like, yes, sir, I do. And then he's even just
yeah, I know nothing about you. Yeah.
You still have that, he even sees that sympathy of Forrest being yes, sir, I do. It wasn't I still can't get mad at this guy. I'm still mad at him, but Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm furious at this person, but there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Report of the Medal of Honor. Guess what, Lieutenant Dan? They want to give me the.
Also horrifying, just
dude just got probably bombed right to the
just annihilated and where
send him home.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, I left Vietnam. Ceremony was kicked off with a candid speech by the president regarding the need for further escalation of the war in Vietnam. President Johnson awarded 4
cut to the same guys that have seen Forrest running and everything. Lyndon Johnson. I like to see that. Okay, here you go. That little cut of the looking down.
Even that like looks like that's like the shakiest CG in it, and it's still him waving, looking away. It's like that felt like real Lyndon Johnson. Like, how do we get this face here?
Yeah.
Mama was resting. The streets were awful. People looking at all the statues and monuments, and some of them people were loud and hissing.
Part of everything American.
Yeah.
Protest.
It is. It's a time that's like impossible for me to comprehend. You know what I mean? Like, just even like protests now, I just think social media sort of warped the perception of many different things. But like, just thinking about these people, walking in DC doing this sort of Abby Hoffman-esque guy up there, right?
Yeah,
like
basically.
doing this thing, it is say the
Actually,
F word.
I wrote down when the mic cuts, Tom Hanks. This is what Tom Hanks said. That what I said. He said sometimes when people go to Vietnam, they go home to their mamas without any legs. Sometimes they don't go home at all. That's a bad thing. That's all I have to say about that. That's what he says.
Amazing.
For those that have I've always wanted to know what he said.
Yeah.
And it obviously cuts back to that's all I have to say about that. Everyone on the sides is all CGI.
Yeah.
It's the same group of people. They would just rearrange them and shoot them.
Yeah.
So they just rearranged them and shot them. So then they took that image and just put it on the side. So it looks
That's
like
how Nolan did the football stadium in The Dark Knight Rises.
You just rearrange the crowd so like you can get different.
Yeah, I actually worked on a short film where we did that. Now it's like crazy accessible. Like you can do it in Adobe After Effects where you just sort of batch capturing people and then you're moving them around and then it'll automatically sort it for you too, which is pretty cool.
There was only one thing I could say about the wall in Vietnam.
Just this guy, like
just this guy just looks evil. Like, if you just look at him, like,
yeah.
I love how she takes his baton.
Yeah, like, you goddamn wanker.
That's all I have to say about that. Yeah, it's incredible.
You said it all.
You said it all, man.
My name is Forrest Gump. Forrest
Gump. What a great image. I mean, just like visual medium, but Jenny crossing the river, like, crossing the mall through the water, like where she could be isolated and you could see who it is.
Like, you know exactly who it is. As soon as she yells Forrest. Yeah.
There's literally no confusion. Like you don't have to send Robert Wright, like
being like, who's that?
Yeah. Yeah. But again, keeping her in this movie, but also tracing her arc. It's not like she's wastefully there. He doesn't like bump into her at a museum. She's there to protest. She's there. She's a hippie. She's there, She's been traveling around.
Sorry, I got into a fight in the middle of your Black
Panther party. Yeah. I also think her boyfriend in this is like sort of, low rent like angrier John Lennon,
Yeah. He's then later in Contact.
Yes.
Robert Zemeckis, one of part of Jodie Foster's team.
Yeah, one of my all-time favorite movies, Contact.
I love this. He's like not even paying attention to the black
Yeah.
guy. He's not even listening, just watching this
It's
entire
also like
interaction.
staging wise, that guy never moves in front of him because we know we need to rotate the camera around, and it's not something you think about because you also want that point of view, you know.
Better hit your mark. You're gonna get yelled at.
Yeah, exactly.
Cut to some Hendrix.
Yeah.
And here's his power again. Strong.
Yeah.
Just boom, decked him. Yeah, he does kind of have like a weird John Lennon look going.
Right?
This guy. Now that you pointed out.
I'm always trying to figure out, like, do you dress the villain like something you don't like? Do you do what, you know what I mean? Like, what does he represent, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yes, here you go. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's so good.
It is good.
Sorry, I had a fight in the middle of your Black Panther part.
Now, do they shoot this in front of the actual White House? Do you know?
It looks like it.
Yeah, right.
The fountain's going in there, so yeah. I guess as long as you have like the permit to do it, I can't say no.
Yeah, I wonder if they let you do it now. I always think about like those sort of guerrilla movies, like was it World of Tomorrow? Right? Did you ever see that one? The guy that shot in Disneyland. He just like looked.
I
like
don't think so. Actually,
it's really cool.
Oh, really?
The movie's wild. Mostly like to watch as an aesthetic experiment, but it's basically like the idea of like my daughter disappears in Disney World. But it's like shot, and so he shoots it like he like brings a kid every day, and they just shot like guerrilla filmmakers, like prosumer stuff, so it kind of looks cool and blends, and they do some really creative editing that I was like, oh yeah, like if your sound design can be added later, that is a cool way to get expensive shots.
It was like me trying to film in the subway in Philly, having the camera next to you. It's not on. It's like you're filming across. Like
I went to Penn State for film school, and Penn State's next to this big World War II museum. And I made this World War II movie when I was a junior, and we wanted to have a tank in it. So we went to the museum in our costumes after hours, and there's just a tank out front, and sat on the tank, and then added in rumblings later, and then put the camera on a dolly so it looked like the tank was driving away. And everyone was like, "How did you do that?" And I'm like, "We just Googled it, you know." Like, it was a cool that short. Never. I don't even think it's online anymore. But it was like at the time, like that. Anything you can get that like
cool technique,
brings your scale up is neat.
We have $0 budget, so we gotta gotta do what we can.
Yeah, but
I would never hurt you, even though I just slapped you in the face.
Yeah.
But then again, see, but Jenny always goes back to the people that hurt
abusive.
her.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Bam.
This is an aggressive, like, Allop. That guy's so scared of Forrest, though, because he just beat the crap. I'm sure there's probably a scene in Woodstock in the book now.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Surprised that's actually not in this.
I'm trying to remember. It's been a while because I read the book and then I read the sequel, Gump and Me, which is like about him and his kid growing up, which, you know, was purchased by Paramount, never made. Doesn't really make sense. Like then covers like other, you know, like 80s and 90s big things, but like I think he's at the fall of the Berlin Wall, stuff that you're like,
it's like all right. It's like all right. I think we're going a little too far here.
Yeah, it starts to get a little like we didn't start the fire level, you know.
Yeah, it's like we're just naming historical events.
Yeah, I'll say that like I'm aware that Forrest Gump's not a real person, but if you gave me a book and I read it like this, I could sort of believe someone lived almost this fantastical of a life. Like, because at the time it did feel like trips to the White House weren't as exclusive. You know what I mean? Like, these are reasons you would go. These big events, everybody went to them. You know what I mean? Like these marches weren't like just a few people went. You know, it was called a Million Man March for you know what I mean? Like they're like actual things happening. And not that and because the rest of this movie obviously like has some fantastical elements, the running and whatever, but it doesn't feel so crazy. Oh yeah, here's my favorite ping pong shot.
Mm.
It's like the most important event in human history.
Yeah, they're not even watching.
Yeah, they're like, this guy's playing ping pong.
Yeah, this guy's amazing.
Yeah, it is good.
Love how they played the birds as Jenny was flying away from Forrest again.
Yeah. The intention here is always so good. It's just so intentional, you know.
I love these little their movements.
Yeah.
Like he was the first person to go to American to go to China. Like
when I was in grad school, I worked for this woman. She was like this old lady, and she had been like a trophy wife in the 60s and married this like super rich scientist who was the head of Science in America under JFK. And then they had retired to Boston, and now she was like in her 80s. And her husband was so old that he was a ball boy for the 28 Yankees, and had when I think about him all the time, just like he was this ball boy for the Yankees. So he has all of their autographs. You know, I held a couple Babe Ruth baseballs he's had lying around. Then, you know, like thumbs up, was in World War II. Then like recruited by JFK, has all these JFK pens and like note letters from him. Then he became the president of MIT and married her when she was like a young professor, and she was like a young hot English professor. And then now she was living in this mansion in Boston by herself. And he had died in like 1982. So like she had lived there, and I went to grad school in 2012 and was like working in her base. And so she had all these historical artifacts. It just felt like you're like touching and doing all these different parts of history that were like you're living other people's lives, you know, through it. It's fascinating. So I do think there are people that like wander through. Oh, here it is. They gave you the Congressional Medal of Honor.
Yeah. I also love how Forrest was the one that came up with the Imagine song.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Imagine that dick. Yeah. This is like legitimately, I thought Gary Sinise was the greatest actor that ever lived after seeing this movie when I was like, I was like, this is crazy. He can do all this stuff.
Big transformation.
Born on the 4th of July.
Yeah. So I guess like the wheelchair, like he's like sitting and his legs are like back through into the back.
Yeah.
It's special chair design.
Yeah.
Then they have a little Midnight Cowboy reference here.
Hey, I'm walking here. Yeah.
God damn, bless America. I always thought that scene was a little weird of him going down, like falling down the thing. I always thought that they should have cut that.
There's some comedy bits, right? It's like, as someone who tries to write comedy into a lot of different genres, like sometimes it's funny. I just had this conversation with my manager yesterday about like what's too funny for something, right? It's like, hey, I don't need like slapstick humor can sometimes be too funny for what you're selling. Like this is like a small, but yeah, you could cut that because this is funny, right? I'm walking here, great homage. But like him just goobering around on like he doesn't have control of his wheelchair. It's like a little too like goofy. It's hard.
Like he needs someone,
Blending and levity is always hard, and a lot of times we try to go for big jokes to keep people relaxed. When really, I mean, I think Forrest Gump is probably a testament to like the small moments that we remember are those small moments, right? The shrimp thing is a tiny moment. Like these little, little beats are usually tinier moments. Even Greenbow, Alabama, that big, like Alabama, it's a big moment, but it's a tiny moment in the movie.
Yeah.
Like it's not, I don't know. But yeah, you could cut that. It's like one of those movies, like Soderbergh sometimes he'll like recut him, like he did the black and white Indiana Jones, which was pretty incredible, and then he put in a new score, which is like the Trent Reznor score. Like it was like, so it's like, I wonder if you could deconstruct Forrest Gump, like if there's a way to like edit this movie,
re-edit stuff,
re-edit or do. And again, like this is a movie I like, so I don't, but I mean, I love Raiders of the Lost Ark. Who doesn't, But like it was cool to watch someone like just
like a new vision or version of it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's cool to look at art in a new way. This movie really is good at like piecing together the people in Forrest's life and giving them their hero moments right? Like
Yeah.
Bubba's whole thing. Jenny kind of gets the beginning and the end, really.
Because he's at his lowest point here, Lieutenant Dan. He's looking for another drink.
Yeah.
He doesn't have anything anymore. There's 30 empty bottles around him.
Yeah, he's like Lieutenant Nick's looking for that VAT 69.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, shout out Band of Brothers, Again,
Another
like
high life. Champagne and beers.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Do you live in LA, right?
Yeah, I'm down in Long Beach, and then I work at the Fox Lot, Century City.
Oh, right, yes, yeah. Sorry, yeah. Vito's Pizza, right on Santa Monica. If you haven't been there, has a really good high life and slice deal.
Nice.
On your way home, you got to do it. Yeah, I live right around the corner from. I'm on like Overland and Olympic, basically.
Oh yeah, it's right around the corner.
Yeah, literally. Like I walked when we were protesting, or we were on strike. I would walk to the Fox Lot every day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got really easy. I was like, well, I'm going to be walking around there. Maybe I'll just drive. I'll drive the quarter mile and then do it. But yeah.
And then there's hot days where you're like, it's really hot out right now.
Yeah. I do like that he's always smoking like the cigarilla. You know what I mean? Like it's never a real cigar. It's always like the chompy cigar.
And then obviously the character choice, Forrest doesn't drink. He's drinking a Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. It's a good choice. These are like little good.
Just he's that clean cut All-American guy kind of vibe. Like,
yeah. Well, if you reject every vice, he's the best you could be. He's like, I think this weird emblematic of like you could live a pure, amazing life if you just, weren't a piece of shit, or like, like all the bad people in this movie are so awful. It's like, it should be so easy not to be awful.
I love the cut of when she was like, don't you just love New Year's? Like, it's give you a chance to start over because everybody deserves a second chance. And then you cut to Jenny with the obviously mark on her face. This guy has punched her before. Like she's trying to start over again. Cut to Jenny.
Yeah, her whole story is a series of new starts, right? Like starting over with her grandmother, leaving, doing these things. Like it's
moving to San Francisco now, leaving this guy, and her and Forrest are watching the same thing. And she's probably thinking of Forrest in that moment too. And like, here's your famous gif of the sitting at the zips. Happy New Year. Staring at your empty beer, like another year. Just 1 year closer to death.
Truly.
Dude, I'd be pissed. All that stuff going in my beer, I'd be like, what the?
I know. I thought about it. I was like, dropping on that champagne is, like, well, I did have to pay for this.
Yeah, it's like, can I get another beer now? All this stuff just went in my beer. Yeah, here's the scene where she says, your friend's stupid or something.
Yeah.
Because like 3 scenes ago, he was like, they gave you the Congressional Medal of Honor. Now he's going to be defending Forrest.
Yeah. Yeah, he spends a little time with him and he's like, all right, that's the way I do it.
And he realizes that Forrest is actually a good person. No. Yeah,
he's not even going to defend him until his girl says, you know what I mean? Like he is like, well.
And the close-ups of Forrest there, like doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Jeez, these girls are just mean.
Awful. It's New Year's Eve. I think you're turning over a new leaf here.
Yeah. I guess like to the point, she just goes right back to being who she was. That girl doesn't turn over a new leaf.
Well, that's what it is, right? It's like if you choose to be this person, you know what I mean? Like,
but Lieutenant Dan's going to turn over a new leaf now. He's going to become a different person.
Exactly. Yeah, because it's the new year.
New Year's Eve party. I don't blame you for it. She tastes like cigarettes. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It is interesting, like just Lieutenant Dan just like sort of slipping back into this like rolling depression here that you're like, oh yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah, because now
can't
he sees
yeah,
him like right that line, like he didn't want to be called crippled, like I don't want to be
yeah,
called stupid. Like he sees himself like him and Forrest
yeah.
are like
Well, it's like damaged goods is probably the theme of this movie, right? Is Forrest Gump stupid? Is Jenny, you know, unredeemable, like unsavable? Like is, Lieutenant Dan just a cripple? Like
mm-hmm.
it is what it is, and it's like sort of this like long redemption arc for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
This time they didn't get it through the real facts.
So I went to the White House again.
Again, yeah. He's met how many presidents now? 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're at 3. Yeah.
This is great too. The
Yeah.
Watergate reveal. He's like, "Oh, I know a better hotel." And you're like, "Well, I know what that hotel's about to be."
Yeah.
Yeah, right here.
There's lights. Yeah.
So I guess like I don't know if I couldn't really hear it there, but I think the guy that says the security guard that says his name
Yeah.
was the actual security guard. Like that's the actual person, like
Oh,
the name that like went and
that's awesome.
found the
Yeah.
like that the door was opened
Yeah.
essentially. Well, the cut to I shall resign. Like Forrest
Yeah.
isn't even paying attention to this. Even though he was the one that caused it.
Yeah. It's like, again, like set design, just like a complete gymnasium one. He's in the back corner. in
Yeah.
the ping
Well, it's
pong
also
ball.
like even using the TVs too, like
Yeah.
it's a great way to just establish the time. Like, okay, I know what time and period we're in now. Like you
Yeah.
just need one little newsreel to be like, well, Nixon just resigned, so we're early
Right.
70s.
Yeah.
Like that's all you need. Like, and we're in a gymnasium right now. But all I
Yeah.
need to tell you the time. I don't have to go to the White House to show Nixon. Like, I can
Right.
just show this little newsreel.
Yeah. And my worn ping pong paddle because it's been all over the
Yeah,
globe. Yeah.
because that's all I use right now.
Right.
Like, oh, he just runs out.
Yeah. What a great cut there too. Door opening, door opening.
Yeah. Look, I'm home, Mama. Like, I know. You just walked. You're here.
Yeah.
But again, she corrects them in like a motherly way. Like I
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all the photos of him blinking. Even then, they made the painting of him like blinking in the back.
Yeah.
Like Gump Mao
Mao.
table tennis. That's great. I wonder if they still have like collectibles of that. There probably is somewhere. A Gump Mao.
Oh, there's
table
gotta be.
tennis.
There's gotta be. There's a storage locker with all this stuff in it.
Oh yeah, so it's probably in the Paramount lot somewhere.
He sure was right. It's funny how things work out.
She sure was right.
Home for long because I made a promise to Bubba. Now I always try to keep my promise.
Even like the way he walks now, it's like he's like marching because he was
Yes,
in the military.
in the military, yeah, and never
Yeah.
changes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just playing Snoop.
I guess all of that. I guess.
A lot of
Benjamin
private
Buford Blue, what a
cemeteries in this
name.
movie. Yeah.
Remember everything you said. I got it all figured out.
Yeah, I feel like nowadays there are not a lot of these private cemeteries anymore. Like people
Yeah.
being buried on like their own land.
I think you have to get like a crazy permit for it or something.
Yeah, because like people just buy houses now like all the time.
Yeah.
Not like I can buy a house though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not in LA. I tell you what. Yeah, spread my ashes by the dumpster over here. You know?
Yeah.
I always wondered if he overpaid for the shrimp boat. Like it sounds.
He probably did. There's some, but then again, it's like
Yeah.
do they take advantage of him, or they're like, is this, or
Or
we
is
just
it-
be like,
yeah.
yeah, maybe this guy's just this guy, like stupid as a stupid does. I mean, like,
Yeah.
you still like,
So anyway,
I'm like, all right,
putting all that on gas.
Well, I guess he's saying he did spend it on. Yeah.
brand new shrimp boat to cut
Yeah.
to a worn down shrimp.
Right. Yeah.
It's the American dream. You got to start low.
It is, again, practical. We're out there on the bayou,
Yeah,
like wherever they show. Like,
mhm.
it's awesome. It's awesome to watch a movie that takes place in the real world and not on a set.
Mhm. Yeah, this would be like in a tank on the
Yeah.
lot. I love that line. Some more, got a little cocktail. Well, we know what the name's gonna be.
Yeah.
There was only one I could think of. The most beautiful name for the life.
Chardonnay. We got a whole fleet of Jennies now. That's so good.
Now we're probably entering like late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
Snorting like Justin Timberlake just did last night. Oh, 2 nights ago.
Yeah. I was gonna say topical.
Again, plays Freebird when she's about to maybe jump. More on the nose of fly like a bird and get out of here.
Yeah.
It's like it's the point. It's like, yeah, is it on the nose? Right, yeah, a little, but
Yeah.
it's supposed to be on the.
It is. That's the thing. It's like this is
Yeah.
a melodrama in many ways. Like I feels like Douglas Sirk made this movie in times, you know, like a Sirkian melodrama. Like it is like put it on the nose, lean into it. This is how you should feel. This is what it was like, you know. I don't know. Like melodrama is one of those things. It's like I only mind it when I feel like it's done bad, but if it's like Magnolia, Paul Thomas Anderson, you're like, yeah, fucking play One Is the Loneliest Number. You know what I mean? Like do these things. It's fascinating. She does look rail thin here. Like I don't know if that's like just a good like. It's great. Again, great costuming, like that bangle, just like digging into her arm, sort of thing. Is you're like you are worried. Like I'm worried about her. I'm like, don't jump, Jenny.
And then she does the moment there, like,
yeah,
what she almost did.
Yeah.
She's at her lowest point now.
Yeah.
That was probably a CG moon.
Yeah. I'll forgive him for that.
This is probably a set here. Like they're probably in a tank. Just to get these shots.
Yeah.
Another famous little GIF here, or GIF of him waving.
Yeah. Just also him jumping off the boat. It's
yeah.
Like,
I love the little. There's a lot of favorite lines here. He's like, "You know, got no legs, Lieutenant Dan." He's like, "Yes, I know that.
I know that."
Yeah. Yeah, I love how the boat somehow makes a U-turn, comes back.
Well, it has like that quick shot of the wheel spinning. So
yeah, it's like
also like
foreshadowing it.
Lieutenant Dan having an America bumper stickers.
Yeah. But even like his little like the way he looks now, it looks like he's a little more sober.
Absolutely. Like well, his hair is like, shampooed.
Yeah, like it's like he took a shower. Yeah. Clearly took a bath or something, clean his body.
Yeah.
And if you really look at the dock in the background, it looks so like dingy, like it's gonna break so easily. Like there's fake boxes on it. It's not even attached to anything. Like if you really looked at it, it wasn't attached to anything.
Yeah, I mean it moves like
it was just sitting in the middle just so that they could have the boat break into it. It's a great shot. Real sunset shot.
Just like
that's like such an American look right there. Like the
yeah,
flag behind,
yeah,
the long hair, like 70s look, shirt open.
yeah. Just nothing.
Yeah.
Think, do we already get the license plate shot that I felt like was like a little homage to Jaws? Like,
I think it was when
yeah,
the first one when he got the little he's like on
yeah,
caught 5. Yeah.
yeah.
How are we gonna find them?
It's the Louisiana license plate they pull out of.
Yeah. His face. Like, I guess he is drinking, but like not as much.
Yeah, it's funny because they don't make him an alcoholic, right? Like he's an alcoholic, but
Oh, here it is. I think it's
yeah,
right here, the license plate.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
And like
yeah,
a World War II helmet.
helmet,
Like
yeah.
no shrimp.
Yeah, what else has got me? This is like, like we call them button lines, like a good button to
Yeah.
like,
Or like a setup line, like
yeah,
set up, like what's coming.
Yeah. This movie just has all of them. Like it feels like everything is on a button on a hook. We're passing the next moment here. I mean, obviously this is on a stage somewhere too, but it is like beautifully done. Like there's so much water coming at him. You really can't see the back. You don't need like a weird backdrop or anything like that. Like all that stuff sort of just brushes.
And he's like up there with the American flag still blowing behind him. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He's the god right now. So now he's like not afraid of death. Like not. So the footage there, they use actual like post the storm, like when they show this is actual footage of what a hurricane that actually hit South Carolina or Louisiana at that time.
Incredible.
Here's Forrest. Because there's no one else there. All the shrimp boats are gone. I'd be like, dude, why would you just dump it on the? Now I gotta pick it up again. But I love how they had this guy had been listening since the Vietnam part. But this is the part where he's like, hold on, like all right, this guy, he thinks this guy's full of shit, essentially.
Yeah.
Telling me you're the owner of the Bubba Gump Shrimp Corporation? Yes, we got more money than David Crockett.
Yeah, so now he's like, all right, this guy's full of it.
Right. Next to a millionaire.
Like quadrillion millionaire, man. He's invested in Apple early on. That dude's got probably $1 billion
I was trying to think like how many hundreds of millions it could be.
Yeah.
But yeah.
He says we don't have to worry about money anymore. So
right.
See, as long as if that guy had stood around for another 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You want to see what it looks like? Here you go.
This lady's also amazing casting. When I was watching the other day, she's not like she's a great actress. She's great at being that lady, and I think like that's like one of the underrated parts of this movie is that like everyone is very good at playing the role that they're given. Even these little people, like they're no little parts, right? Like they're no, they're all no little parts, just little actors, whatever that line is. It's just such a good version of that. Just like. You get like if you get on screen time, you get your shot, shoot it,
It kind of always implies like he like swims away to his death, but obviously it's not.
Right,
like he just swims away and then obviously then he cuts back. Like, all right, hey, he's fine, he's right there.
He's all right. We shot another president.
Yeah.
Jenny won.
And they never even show like they're on an entirely new boat now.
Yeah.
Entirely new. Like they never even show like we're on a
With
new
their
boat now. Like
branded caps, you know.
TV,
Yeah.
Eating bubblegum shrimp like out of the like.
Yeah. Again, like juxtaposed, that car is driving and he's running as fast as the car, you know?
Yeah.
It's like these little ads that help you get there. Drenched in sweat.
He's not even like breathing heavily, just drenched in sweat though. Like it's like he's like almost not even like human in a way.
Yeah. Well, we did good by you, right?
Yeah, same doctor.
Yeah. That sure got you straightened out. Yeah.
Got you straightened out, didn't we?
Yeah, pun intended, you know. Yeah.
He's like, I got $1 billion, dude.
Yeah. I'm sure there's some website that figured out just how rich Forrest Gump became. But like,
oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Early investors in Apple. Like, yeah, I think about it all the time. Like that.
Apple.
Yeah.
Then essentially Lieutenant Dan takes over Bubblegum Shrimp, even though like Forrest is the owner still.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
He didn't do it. Then he's like, because I was like, he says like I was a gazillionaire.
All right. So I found I found an article. You want to know what
his wealth is? His wealth value?
How rich would he be if he was a real person? All right. This is taking in fictional character, how like he invested. We've got the Alabama estate, his ping pong endorsement, Bubblegum Shrimp, early investing in Apple. What do you like? And this is a pretty good, Okay, great. I've got an exact number for you for what they're saying altogether. You want to make a guess?
400 million.
It's much higher. So like
much higher. 900 million.
It is much higher.
7 billion.
Okay, so 5.7 billion is what one article says. And then this article is written sort of doing the actual deeper math, and they're saying 7 billion. So if you want that, you got it right on there. But
and
basically,
this is for like 94.5. So if you just for inflation,
exactly. Yeah, this is
he's probably got
number.
like 10, 12 billion more than that.
Yeah, basically they were saying like if Lieutenant Dan had actually received the Rainbow Apple emblem letter on it from some kind of fruit company, that would be like almost the earliest investment possible in Apple. And according to cultofmac.com, Forrest would have had to own to get that letter a staggering 12 million shares in the company worth $7 billion in today's currency.
Doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah, that's like dangerously wealthy. Like,
oh my god,
that's very funny. I mean, like you can't think of it that way, but it is funny to think of him mowing this lawn worth $7 billion.
Just like, it's like I'm worth $7-8 billion. Like
here it is. The Apple.
There it is. Yeah. It's like, the letter said 1975 there, so it's 1975.
Yeah. Yeah, that was what this article said. So, like, in 2024, he'd be worth $7 billion.
That's insane.
I know. Somewhere, now old Haley Joel Osment's just like, his super rich kid.
It's like, I'd cut the grass for free too. Like, what? I'll cut it for free. I got enough money. I'll help the local school out. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think he gave Bubba's mom $100 million? His share.
He probably his share of like whatever the value of Bubba Gump is worth.
Yeah.
Probably over a couple hundred
million.
Again,
great. Maybe. What a great shot right here.
Cuts still, Mm-hmm. She probably got a double-digit millions, I would say.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think that check is for $100 million. That's
probably $100 million. Yeah. Change their lives, and he could have easily done nothing. But he gave probably 50% share.
Yeah.
Stuck to his word. I'm sure Lieutenant Dan probably fought him on a little bit of it, but
yeah. Lieutenant Dan at this point is like, wait a minute.
yeah.
Who was
Let me
like
handle the finances.
Bubba, that guy I saw for 6 minutes in this movie?
Yeah. That shot of Jenny like disappearing always creeps me out.
Yeah.
Like that'd be terrifying if you like thought of that. I'd be like, ugh. Still give me the chills like thinking of that.
It's like a haunting portion of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
That snapper mower. God, that score just right as it comes in.
Hits there.
We're like sitting here joking. I just got like a lump in my throat just hearing that music. It's Alan Silvestri, right?
Jenny Returns. Yeah. Alan Silvestri.
Yeah.
Very underrated.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And people don't know that he created the Avengers theme.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Basically done all of Zemeckis' movies.
Yeah.
And she was there. She's real. Yeah, I love how he just wears his merch.
Yeah.
Wears his own merch.
We should. It's like I don't know if you saw the Fall Guy, but all the 87 North stuff that they wear in the movie. Like, Forrest Gump's the other end of that spectrum. Again, pun intended.
Now she even looks a little like more sober.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, they shampoo their hair. It's literally
you
like
take a shower. Yeah.
You shower them off. It's slept for days.
She sleeps for days, yeah. Because now she feels fully comfortable with Forrest. Like, that's her like comfort. Like, he'll let her. He won't like get her up either. He'll let her sleep.
Yeah.
Every day we take a walk, and I'd jab her on a monkey in a tree, and she'd listen about ping ponging and shrimping, and Mama would trip up to heaven.
It's crazy because Forrest has kind of lived the life Jenny thought she was gonna live. Gone and done all these things, and there is like that juxtaposition there of, again, like what you thought your life would be, what it is.
He modeled this one shot of when Jenny falls to the ground.
Yeah. Oh, Christina's World?
Off of, yeah. The Andrew Wyeth painting,
This painting? I can't see it. It's on my wall. Yeah.
I used to live 3 minutes from the Wyeth's house.
That's where my parents live. Yeah. I'm from Westchester. Yeah.
Same. I went to Unionville High School.
Oh, yeah. I went to Bishop Shanahan. So
nice. Should play you guys in hockey all the time.
Yeah. That's so funny. I would have gone to Unionville, I guess, if I got, because I guess Bayard Rustin's right there now, but
there's like 3 Westchester schools now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I live 3 minutes from the Wyeths.
I was just there last week.
Right around that bend, and you saw there.
Yeah. I was at the Brandywine River Museum seeing the Jamie Wyeth exhibit less than a week ago. Yeah.
And look at us now in LA.
I know. Yeah,
living the dream.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, there's a Jamie Wyeth behind my head on beachside. But that's so funny. Do you watch Doug as a kid? There's a Patty Mayonnaise episode, right, where they he throws a rock and it like knocks her old house down. Is that Doug? It's like
I did watch Doug growing up, but I don't like remember.
Yeah, you don't remember all the episodes of Doug.
You don't remember it was a Doug from 1991.
Yeah, I like legitimately every time like those two scenes are fused in my brain. Is like, did Doug do Forrest Gump? And I feel like that's not.
It might have,
not out of the realm of possibility. Yeah, here are the sneaks. Little Nike Cortez.
Still wearing them.
Yeah.
I guess you can't have a movie take place in Alabama without playing Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah, exactly. Well, again, it's like verbatim what you should feel, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess technically they say Greenbow is not an actual town in Alabama. I don't think so.
But it was that same sky.
So he sat on his mom on that log, but now with Jenny, and then he eventually sits on it with his son.
Yeah.
Again, using TV to show the time.
Yeah.
Okay, we're at New Year's now. Again.
Where you could choose who you want to be, right? That's the
drinking his Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. And look, she had a 7-Up. You know what I mean?
7-Up, yeah. So she's getting sober, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless Forrest is just pounding sodas left and right.
Yeah. Again, iconic line.
But not yet. Give it like 5 more years when I have your child.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't see dead people yet. It's okay.
Yeah, this is like a full ad for therapy.
Yeah. This was Haley Joel Osment's first acting role, I think.
Yeah.
How those little stance he does outside when he puts the hands behind his back. Like it's like a just like
it's such a specific way to stand too. It is like
yeah.
Like I can't imagine anybody doing that aside from Forrest Gump, but also
and she climbs into his room again.
Yeah,
like they were kids.
Yeah, mirroring
younger
before. Yeah.
So yeah, she feels like she takes advantage of him again here. That's why she leaves.
And look, she's in control, all that stuff.
And she does love Forrest, but again, if she felt like she probably would marry him, it's like her taking advantage of him.
Yeah.
One of my favorite shots of like all times coming up. That's next like 2 minutes. I'll point it out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, what? Just more back nudity for you. You're like, it's
got to keep that PG-13 rating, even though in the it is for PG-13 because in the Playboy magazine you can see some breasts.
Yeah, they get that.
But I guess it's because it's a photo.
Exactly.
It's a photo.
There's a loose. I honestly think the ratings were because it's subjective. Was like every American needs to see this.
Yeah. Here's the line. Where are you off to? Running off to? You're not running. Yeah. She was just using Forrest to get a child.
Yeah. Just the camera tracking through those windows is amazing. Sweaty.
Sex was so good. He's still passed out.
Well, later, he's like, "You got air conditioning." I'm like, "Oh, he just, you're a billionaire. Get some AC going."
Yeah, it's the next shot after this one when it has him sitting by himself and the camera just pushes in. When he's just sitting there, like, and you hear the clock ticking. You hear like a clock ticking.
Oh yeah,
right here. Yeah, that's one of my favorite shots.
Great, slow dolly in.
Just sitting by himself.
Yeah,
just silence and no sound.
Yeah. Look at this. It's all moving camera, right? It's like like tilt crane, a jib up, dolly in, tilt down. It's weird to be like, they don't make them like this anymore, but like they don't make them like this anymore.
Yeah.
They sort of just, like snaps,
It feels just like an epic movie and just an epic like type of movie from production standpoint.
Adult drama, right? Like there's a reason this movie made $500 million, whatever. Like,
one best picture, one best director, one best actor. Yeah. So I guess this is actually based off of a real thing, like a 16-year-old.
Yeah, I did
ran
look at the news
from like
article.
Boston to LA or San Francisco or something. Same old guys that somehow don't age. They're all still sitting there.
That's kind of what it's like the guys in the barber shop with what's it called? Coming to America,
yeah. So I guess originally Paramount cut like 10 million of their budget. So they wanted them to cut these running scenes. So what they had, so Zemeckis said, okay,
Yeah.
that's fine, but he lied and secretly
Yeah.
filmed them, and
Yeah.
a lot of the running scenes are Tom Hanks's brother doubling as
Oh,
him. So they would
no way.
secretly film this, yeah. So
Yeah.
Zemeckis basically just lied to the studio and said I didn't film them, and then he did, and then he
Yeah.
put
So
them
you
in the
just get Tom
movie.
Hanks's brother, you drive him out to
Yeah.
Maine, you let him do the running.
So
Yeah.
they were pissed, like all these locations, they like all these they were pissed that he just
Yeah.
secretly did it anyway. He didn't care. And I think they also cut the budget even more because I think they thought this wasn't going to be like a hit at all. They were like, this
Yeah.
movie's probably going to suck. So like Zemeckis and Tom Hanks basically were like, that's fine. You can take our
Right.
salary, but
Yeah.
we want back end box office.
Amazing.
So Tom Hanks made like $50 million off this movie alone. So I think this shot right here, I think that's like Tom
Yeah.
Hanks' brother. Running.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, this, first off, I'm a massive Jackson Brown fan, so this is great. But also, like, this
These
is
shots are
why,
insane.
yeah, this is like the location scout of dreams, you know?
Yeah. This is like a little Pennsylvania area.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's like, you know, Gettysburg.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the fall trees.
Yeah.
Don't get those in LA.
No, definitely. I mean, no seasons here at all.
Yeah.
I woke up yesterday and it was summer.
It's one. It'll be 55 in the morning and 85 and 3 hours later. Again, just using TV. Saying these guys don't age. Use TV to show the time.
Just Jenny at this diner.
Yeah.
It would be crazy to be like, that's that guy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, that is really right. Are you running for women's right?
Yeah.
That's really
right. Forecast of his castaway hair too, you know?
Yeah. Basically, yeah. Same look. They probably just looked at images of this, like, what if he just looked like this? Because we already have the look. But I love how they make it seem like he becomes, it's like he's like a cult leader, like Messiah, like that they are like following. And then it cuts to him like, I'm pretty tired. I'm just going to go home now.
Well, it is like a theme of his life, right? Desperate people latch on to Forrest because he's so pure.
Mm-hmm. He must be running towards some sort of vision.
Right. Yeah. There's got to be an answer at the end of this. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the whole point of Forrest. Like, there isn't. All right, I'm done running now.
Yeah. I do sometimes wonder if that's like why this movie's unfairly judged, because people want it to have a point. And if the point is literally just like, you just keep going forward and you try not to be a piece of shit, is that like too much of a point?
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure some people like these scenes, like the smiley face, they're probably like, all right. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I've had enough. Yeah. Like, I've had enough of it.
Like, it does feel like not a hat on a hat, but like it's like you could have shit happens or the smiley face.
Yeah.
They have both. But at this point, what are we, like 2 hours into the movie? I'm like, I'm in. You know.
Yeah. Shit happens. Yeah. But again, you could have Forrest being like an asshole, being like, "Well, I helped create that." Like,
right? Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
He doesn't care. Like, yeah.
No, he doesn't, and I don't even know if he knows. Like, he knows sort of, but he doesn't tangentially know that. Like
that it was him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like the effect. It's like he touches people in ways that, like, this guy, like, all it took is a simple smiley face makes you millions and millions of dollars. Then used in Watchmen, like, it's like,
exactly. And also, like, sometimes I think like subtle Christ-like figure, you know, what is that, like you know, Mary wipes the face of Jesus, like like you know, Shroud of Turin thing that like edges on like, this is our American Jesus, but you know,
exactly,
it is funny. Well, especially with the beard and the hair.
Valley.
Yeah,
I'm sure a lot of people get out and take photos here, pretend to be Forrest running.
Oh yeah. But again, you're right. It's like, this is like Brett, like the CGI version of this is not good. Like, this is
yeah, they'd probably would just film this somewhere and all the mountains would be fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's gonna say something and you have to push in like he's gonna come up with some like speech. It's just,
I mean, Spielberg face, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty tired. Thank God
But I love how it's like he doesn't run home though.
Right.
He's
He
gonna
just
walk
walks.
home now
Yeah.
because he's done running. I'm good.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, the slow part of everyone too.
yeah. Like, really? Because that one dude's been running with him for like a year.
Yeah, now what are we supposed to do?
Yeah. We can only pay you. We can't pay the other extras, so no one else speak.
Yeah.
Like, all right. You can only speak. You get a day rate.
Here's another yeah.
But I love how he's not even watching.
Yeah.
Like,
got a letter.
and he could have easily been like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Jenny, I'm gonna meet her." Like, he could have easily interrupted the whole story to say that, and she could have
Yeah.
been like, "You could just go right over there." Like,
Yeah. Well, the
3 blocks
payoff of
away.
what he's doing on this bench, right? Like,
Yeah.
you've asked the whole time. He's got a suitcase. He's sitting there. He's got a box of chocolates. There's, if you sat and paused the movie and discussed what he was doing there, maybe you could come up with it. But the ultimate payoff is so good.
Yeah.
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 So, I mean, like,
it's
she's not a great
don't-
actress. She just is really good at being this like lovely old woman down that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. It's only 3 blocks away. You don't have to wait for a bus.
Yeah. So good. And look, she looks like perfectly clean here. You know,
Mhm.
you're like, okay,
Haircut, yeah.
yeah,
And then obviously revealed that she's a mother.
yeah,
And obviously you can tell now if you looked around, there's pictures like hung
Yeah.
up, like obviously a kid would draw that.
yeah.
You got air conditioning.
You got air conditioning. Yeah, you're right. It's like obviously he has an
5.7.
old house in Alabama.
Right.
Like someone would be like, "This would be so much expensive to install AC
Yeah.
here," but it's like, I mean, he's a billionaire. I don't think it's gonna
Yeah.
matter.
Go dance. Made me
Yeah,
lovers.
I love that
Yeah.
go-go dancer. It's obviously implying that that's her that's talking
Yeah.
about the go-go dancer. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like she was like, I'm just gonna show this to you because I did tell some people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like former go-go dancer.
No.
She's so good in this scene. Like she's so good at like
Yeah.
being nervous. Like
I mean, she's an
nervous
all-time
of
great
how he's
actress.
gonna
Yeah.
nervous of how he's about to act when she finally is going to tell him.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to imagine anybody else in this movie. Like this sort of
Mhm.
chemistry they have, and also like
Because originally supposed to be John Travolta.
I
He
did not
turned it
know
down.
that. No
He
way.
turned it down and he said the biggest mistake I've ever made. Dave Chappelle
Yeah.
was supposed to be turned down Bubba.
I did know that. Yeah. Yeah.
And he even said, because he thought the movie was going to suck. And then I think he
Yeah.
even said that. I mean, Dave Chappelle now is a little bit, but
Yeah. It's
yeah.
about I mean,
John
it's
Travolta was supposed to be
John Travolta
Forrest
is Forrest Gump. Dave Chappelle is
yeah.
as,
Would it have
Bubba.
won Best Picture?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, impossible to think about it. Travolta could have done it. He would have been a wider headed, weirder.
That facial expression, like that's
Yeah.
so good.
I mean, the acting in this movie is bananas. And like, again, she's like got understanding, but also like she knows how to center him, you know, center on Jenny.
And at Forrest, like he hasn't cried at all yet, and he's about to
Yeah.
start crying here when he starts talking about his son.
Yeah.
He's about to cry, and then he obviously only cries at the end, talking about his
Yeah.
son too, Jenny.
Even just the set
at the
design, right?
grave.
Like white walls, like very warm textures in there. Like it's like this
She's
is a
built a
peaceful
home.
place. Yeah.
Yeah, she's built a home,
She's
yeah.
in blue now too, right? Like
Mm. Because he hasn't cried at all this entire
Yeah.
movie, like all the stuff he's been in.
yeah, Bubba's died in his arms, mom's
Yeah.
died, Lieutenant Dan's found God.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is like the first tearful moment. This movie does fly
But
by. I just looked at I was like, oh
yeah, it's great pacing. Or what?
Yeah,
There's only like 20 minutes left, not even 15 minutes left.
Yeah. I joked around about it, but I was like, I've never met this guy before. I'm gonna get on a 2.5-hour podcast with him. And like this is like a breeze. Also just sitting exactly like the kid is amazing. I mean, that's next level.
He's even wearing like they were wearing like the same clothes as Bert and Ernie in that.
Yeah.
I know it's like never implied, but I guess I did read that. I guess that the sequel book implied that she had hepatitis C, I think, something. Because I always thought it was like AIDS, because she was sharing needle. Because like
I think the movie implies that it's AIDS.
Yeah,
but the book, I think it was like Hep C or something. I'm trying to remember like what happens in the
from
book,
needles. Yeah, from like the sharing of needle. Yeah. But I think it's like I think Zemeckis said like we purposely didn't, because there was like a lot of disease, like unknown, like known diseases, but like not, doctors don't know why it's
and also like 94 we still didn't have any, you know what I mean, like thanks
some people
Reagan.
Some people still refuse to acknowledge like it's
what this all was. Again, like the politics can get muddy if you dissect what Forrest, you know what I mean, like it's not like we don't see him voting for the right thing, you know what I mean, like there's not, the actions he does are all human sacrifice, for lack of it, like,
and there's no like
there's
no like direct like, oh, Forrest is Republican, Forrest is Democrat.
Exactly.
Like,
I don't, I would like venture to guess he never voted ever, you know what I mean, like it's not and he's not in any political march or doing whatever, he's just doing what he perceives to be the right thing, which is, I think, a harder stance the longer you look at it, but also like maybe a more important one in the 90s at a different time, just like whatever. But Lieutenant Dan walking again, also fascinating.
This Tom Hanks said that this was his favorite scene in the whole movie, because I think he didn't see him walking yet,
right?
So like when he like turned and like obviously starts to walk, but
titanium.
Titanium.
Fun plant for
Apollo 13 plant.
Plant. I'll see you next year in space.
I
mean, he does look so much better.
You look, two people get sober. Look at you, Forrest. I love the look Lieutenant Dan gives him right here after Jenny like hugs and like kisses him. Like right here, just being like,
all right,
what's up, buddy? What's up, bestie?
Bring it all home. Like, get out of the way, Hale Jocelyn.
Get out of the way,
We're doing
kid.
Another one of our crane shots.
Yep.
Again, like what a vista. You got it, like location scout, shoot on site.
Hit a long driveway. Someone probably driving around him and like, what about this place?
Yeah, exactly. Does feel like everybody goes to this room to die in this movie, though.
This is the death room.
Yeah, if you hit that window sill.
If you're in here, it's not good.
It's
not looking good.
You've taken a turn.
I love this little like sequence he has when he talks about when he was like running. Like he talks about like in Vietnam, then like running, and you just see all the shots and it's just so quiet.
It is such a good
well, it's like it's like he sees the beauty in like being in Vietnam and sees the stars there. Sees the beauty in being alone, I guess. But then obviously he's like, you were always with me. God, look at these shots. Oh,
I know. It's like this is
You're looking at your dailies. You're like, God, yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Thank you,
that one
Panavision.
too.
Yeah,
That
exactly. I
one
mean,
too. Like,
yeah.
oh,
Field of
and then
grass, mountains,
the lake.
crystalline lake.
Yeah, and then the Monument Valley, like running
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I mean,
early
this is
morning, probably like
magic hour.
5:30 in the
Yeah,
morning.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. Or day for night. I
Can't
mean,
though.
impossible to know, I guess. But
Yeah,
yeah.
just that panic cross, and you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
got it. And now she's wearing his shirt
Yeah.
because that's his wife. But I do love the three deaths of like his mother, Bubba,
Yeah.
and Jenny. He just announces like she says, you died on a Saturday morning. Bubba
Yeah.
died right there on that river. My mother died on a Tuesday. Like you don't see, like you just cut to the grave. You don't see like
Yeah.
a funeral scene. You don't see anything. Like he just
Yeah, you don't
announces
need
the
it. You don't
death.
need those black umbrellas in the rain or whatever. Like
Mhm.
you can just well, he's telling us the story, right? So he's like, I don't need to give you that detail. You just need to
Yeah.
know. Yeah. And I had the house bulldozed for you, it's amazing.
Surprised it wasn't bulldozed yet. I think it was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
about to fall apart anyway.
Exactly.
Jenny Gump.
I mean, right
Now
back to
he's
the
reading
book.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, reading him Curious George now.
Yeah.
Make his breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, and he's in that old room,
Mm-hmm. And another good like little character, like that costume design choice after he meets Forrest in Little Forest and with Jenny, that first unbutton where the collar
Yeah.
is, they're all unbuttoned now.
This is one
As
of
in
my
like
favorite moments here.
Jenny's like him being with Jenny and his son
Yeah.
is like it's loosened him up to be like you don't have to
Exactly.
be
Yeah.
as like military straight, like
Right. Yeah, well, the little head cock to the side, I think, is such a good, like, it's
yeah.
definitely his kid, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
He finally cries at the end.
Yeah.
Because again, he is a human, even though it seems like he's not a human because he can run fast and does everything and
Yeah,
invents
exactly.
everything. Like,
But it's these vulnerable moments where it's like even Forrest Gump is gonna break down that I think like
yeah,
it keeps it so relatable. It's like why these other things sort of snap into place. Yeah.
even this, like he doesn't read his kids. It's for his the
Right.
mother. Like I'm not gonna read it. Like he puts it there. Like I won't read it. It's
Yeah, I
obviously
thought
it's gonna
about
like
that.
probably blow away in the wind, but like
Yeah, disintegrate
he's
over
not gonna read
time.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he's respecting his son.
Yeah, that kind of restraint, I don't know anybody that has, but
Yeah,
yeah.
because I'm sure I'd be like, I'm gonna read it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see what he said. Like,
So-
Each have a destiny.
like your destiny is just live your life, Forrest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Breathe.
Float. I mean, there it is, floating around accidental like on a breeze.
Yeah, like a feather.
Yeah.
What? And then the feather just goes to another story, lands
Yeah.
somewhere else. Because you could just walk by the guy that looks like Forrest in the middle of the street. Obviously, it'd be Tom
Exactly.
Hanks, but like a guy
Yeah,
like Forrest,
yeah.
because you'd be like, "Well, there's Tom Hanks." But but anyone in Forrest, like this guy's lived this an entire life like this, but all you do is just walk past him in the street.
Yeah. This is such a good, I mean, what restraint from Zemeckis here too. Hey, we're gonna keep it like medium close.
Mhm.
I'm gonna let you deliver all your lines, and then I, break wide right at the end there. There's no cuts, you're just kind of letting them live in there.
And then you have the birds instead of flying away, they come back.
Yeah.
Because now she's where she's supposed to be, like
Exactly.
obviously not dead, but like where
Right.
like had the family that
Greenbelt,
she ended
Alabama,
up where she
yeah.
ended up where she eventually was supposed to be, a child
Yeah.
with Forrest, and that was
Yeah,
the real
and the birds are
thing.
singing, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder what his neighbors think. We got a billionaire living next door.
Yeah. I think they just like my image of this town is that it's so small that people just think of him as far, you know what I mean? Like they don't even think
Forrest,
about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Forrest,
you know him, he's running around the local idiot. Like
and the feather drops out.
yeah. again, like just like a delicate way to like put you back into the story, you know.
His son's now wearing the plaid shirt.
Yeah,
His little
yeah,
plaid
exactly.
shirt.
Yeah.
Doesn't have the Bubble Gump merch though.
Yeah, yeah.
Be right here when we get back.
Yeah,
She honestly looks pretty good.
Still there? Yeah,
Yeah.
still there. I love the like smile she gives. Like,
Yeah.
all right. And then you hope he gets on the bus and sits
Right.
next to somebody.
Exactly.
They're not gonna bully him like they did him.
Well, bus looks a little empty there. You know, he might be the first stop.
Yeah. First is better.
Yeah.
You don't want to be last.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be last. I mean, this gives you the impression he's going to sit there all day, which.
Yeah, it's like I'll be here when you get back. So I guess he just sat there all day and waited for him to come back.
Yeah.
Knowing Forrest, he probably would sit there all day and wait.
Yeah. That feather work is great. I mean, I'm aware that's CGI too, but what a great again, crane up. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I guess you'd be like, okay, with the crane, just move it wherever you want, and we'll put the feather in it.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'll be like jerking it around, but like,
yeah. But it is like crane to the sky. You go up there, you give him like the big. Even those nice whites and blues juxtaposed against each other is fun, and they come back down too, which is interesting to me.
Yeah, because I guess you could say like a feather is just going to do anything; it'll come back down, go back up. Yeah,
I mean, there's again restraint to follow it dancing and not just end on that first pan to the sky when it comes right at you.
That's it.
Yeah, we did it.
Damn, that flew by.
I know, yeah.
Flew by. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no, that was a blast. Truly. My TV wants me to play Titanic next. We just go back to 5 hours of podcast.
Just throwing a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
This podcast is hosted and edited by Pat Brennan. That's me, with intro and closing music by Patrick Baxter.